What's up, world? Mr. King, Nick King, Bowleg Brown, day 42. 42 days in a row going live. Sitting here thinking, and planning. Thinking, planning, preparing. Looking at pictures and stuff. Scrolling. Man, scrolling on these phones and on the internet, it's just so much mess out there, bro. So much. And if we don't become the number one influencers in our children's life, man, we got to be on top of our job when it comes to these children, man. Because that's what you look on, what's going on outside in the world, in these streets and stuff, that's what the issue is. So you got to think. You got the enemy reaching them, going at them through the school, through the food, through the TV, through the radio, through entertainment. Hell, through the children's books and stuff now. And if we don't care about the future, who will? And I came across something like, it's one thing to learn how to read, but once after you learn how to read, you got to read to learn. And I think somewhere in the Bible says, God says, our people perish due to lack of knowledge. I think it's something like that. If all we learn is what we get when we go to these schools, we'll never be equipped to lead like really successful lives and compete in the world. And then if you look at it, a lot of people going to, like, okay, let's say, just follow the same program everybody else do. We go to work. Well, before we even go to work, let's say we born and raised the children. And once we old enough, after we get all our shots and stuff, then we got to have our shots before we go to school. Then we go to school, ready to start in daycare center or go to kindergarten. First, second, third, fourth, all the way to fifth grade. And keep going to where some people graduate, some drop out. Some graduate, some continue to go to college. Some drop out there, some graduate. Just because you graduate high school to college does not mean you're going to really have a successful life. You got people that drop out and end up being more successful. Because a lot of people, they get it's a trap everywhere you go. Student loan debt is a big old trap. Folks go to school, get degrees, they gotta work. Gotta work all them hours to maintain their lifestyle. But then, who are the ones that's teaching and influencing children? You say you go to work for 8 hours, 10 hours. Some people working 12 to 16 hours a day. Who teaching your children? Who influencing your children? Because if you working that many hours, how much time you got invested with your children? The way I see it, we either growing together or we're growing apart. And that was something, and is something that's super important to me. Like, man, to hell with that. I got to be the number one influence in my children's life. I got to show them what I know as much as I can. I got to show them who I am as much as I can. I got to show them from my mistakes and from my successes. Not just follow shit what other people laying out. Then after reading these books, studying these successful people, And they tell you that the rich don't work for money, they work for assets. And that most successful, most rich people don't have high school, don't have college degrees. But the people that work for them have college degrees. Like, certain stuff just don't make no sense. And you got to have some type of discernment, like what makes sense and what don't make sense. If the goal is to be rich, then we should learn from rich people. And certain stuff just don't make no sense, bro. Like, you want to be rich, it's like no different than you want to play sports. If I wanted to play cornerback, I studied Hall of Fame cornerbacks. We already know who the Hall of Fame quarterback, Prime. If I wanted to play basketball, I studied the Hall of Fame basketball, Jordan. Same thing for baseball or any other professional sport. Now I remember going to school. I'm like, we ain't listen to our teachers because our teachers tell us when you go to school, go to school, get good grades, go to college, and blah blah blah. Then we looking at the teachers. That's what y'all did. Then we looking at y'all lifestyle. That wouldn't influence you to want to go do what they did. So it ain't make no sense. Children ain't stupid. You gotta lead by example, or at least put them in a position where they can learn from somebody else that lead by example. But yeah, just scroll, man. Like, the music trash, the movies trash, the attitudes of a lot of the people, like, it's crazy. A lot of females, it's a lot of males, it's crazy, man. And then they whether they think they're role models or not, they influencing so many people, so many children, even grown ups. People always complaining. Teaching our children how to be solution oriented. Nobody care about your complaint. Nobody care about none of that. Regardless if it's legitimate or not, it don't even matter. We gotta be men. I got boys. We gotta be men. I don't care what other people saying. I come from a family. We had strong men. We have strong men. Watch my daddy growing up. Watch his daddy growing up. Watch his daddy. My mama, daddy, her brothers, daddy, brothers, uncles, cousins. I was raised around men. Now some of us fall victim to the streets or the war on drugs. A lot of my folks fell victim to the war on drugs. But we use those misfortunes or whatever you want to call it as learning lessons to move forward better. Because not only we had a whole bunch of, come on, Bo. Bole. This nigga here, boy. God damn. What I say, yeah. But yeah, man, we gotta want better for our children. Not only just want better for our children, we gotta want better for ourselves. I hear a lot of people complaining about what David Banner may have said or may not have said. I'm not sure. I wasn't there. Matter of fact, me and my youngest son, we ended up talking to him, rolled up on him probably a couple hours before he had his speaking engagement. We were gonna go, but we didn't. We did something else. And so we ended up selling him a book, one of our books, Learning the Market with Measy. And one thing I will say, like I said, I don't know what he said, but was he lying? Whatever he said, was he lying? People got selective. People, man, people are very fickle. Stats say Mississippi is if not the most unhealthy state or most obese state. It's definitely one of them. I think it's number one, if I'm mistaken. Once you can go out of town and stuff, you don't see so many obese people. You come to Mississippi, you see a lot of obese people. Hey, Quinn. So I'm back on live. Yeah, after scrolling. Huh? It's a whole bunch of myths online, man. Like, and then it's a rabbit hole of negativity. Aimed right at the next generation. Like, I'm looking at it like even like the new music I'm seeing these I'm gonna say these fat ass girl around here singing and everybody got their stomach tucked in their pants. Like, man, what an example of, like, just say you got daughters. Who gonna be the better role model for the daughters to look at, man? To listen and learn from. Cause when I go around, I see these, like, listening to music and seeing these girls, people are letting their daughters do the same thing. Babies dancing and just say for instance, this song I keep hearing. I don't even know the name. I keep hearing they be saying, "Take me through there." I'm so tired of hearing that shit. And from where I come from, take me through there, take somebody through there is a bad thing. It's always like somebody like long as I've known, if somebody say, man, he took her down through there, or she took him down through there, that's a negative. Now people are chanting, repeating negative, and wonder why the environment and circumstances are gonna reflect it. And I can speak on it because I used to listen to a whole bunch of negative music. I still listen to certain music. But as I reflect on my past and the history, a lot of the music I used to listen to negatively, that had the negative influence, my life was reflecting it. I mean, one song I used to listen to, I think it was off of Pastor Troy and the Congregation. One of the songs I always say, what did it say? Nigga, don't fuck with me, I'm having a bad day. Who want to keep hearing it over and over and over? If a person constantly saying they're having a bad day, how they gonna have a good day? Especially when you speaking your reality. Like a lot of songs I used to like listen to, I can't listen to them songs no more. Try to change the words to them sometimes, and sometimes it ain't good enough. What's on your mind, bro? Yeah. It feels like. One thing I've been thinking about is I got a lot on my mind, a lot on my heart, but I don't know how open to be, how much to say, or stuff like that. Shit, everything. Life. Shit. It'll run out of space. But you're right, though. I don't know, man. Like, it's a whole bunch of stuff. And I honestly say I honestly will say that whatever, a lot of the stuff that's on my mind, I think a lot of people will be able to relate to it. And it's, yeah. As far as like going through certain experiences through life and stuff like that I don't speak on. And just keep pushing forward and don't allow it to detour me, take me out of course or nothing like that. Just keep moving fast, keep moving forward. And before you know it, shit, days, weeks, and months and years and pass by. So I guess I don't know if that's necessarily the best thing to do because stuff is not necessarily being addressed to deal with. It's being compartmentalized. However, I'm dealing with it, it still allows me to make progress. So it got to be positive. I got a whole bunch of compartments. Like stuff I might go through, I'm like, I'll deal with it later. And I look back, some I would say I'm going to deal with later, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years and pay it back. Then think about how many other things have had, oh, I deal with that later. Worry about that later. Keep on moving forward. But I know one thing in regards to like, and I stand strong on this. Like when it goes to like people losing loved ones or going to funerals and stuff like that. Like we gotta be the men. We gotta be the strong. We gotta be the strength. Like God made us to be the strength. If we the ones weak, crying and faltering and falling out, who the hell gonna be strong for the women and children? Who gonna be the example? Who gonna be the example for the boys to look to for strength? Who gonna be the example for the girls, the babies to look to for safety and protection and stuff like that? If the men are being bitches and the females are being other than themselves, I mean it's a sad day. And I would say that when we look study other people, cultures and stuff like that, the hierarchy of the order, they're more so in order. Our people are just out of order. Our people are out of order from the positions as far as the men, the women, the children, all are just all out of order. That's why our community is in chaos. That's why when you look at things in a world view, why we at the bottom, we like the laughing stock of the people. We here to entertain people. We do all the damage to each other. It's like we're afraid of other people. We don't admit it, but our actions show different. Like we have a certain showcase a certain level of hate towards each other. Like I have never seen. It's amazing to witness. Like when you watch all the fights at the clubs and just look at the girls. Like what's the word I'm looking for? What's it called? What's the word called? It's not unruly. That's one word. Ratchet ain't the word I'm looking for though. That really ain't even hardly in my vocabulary now that I think about it. Ratchet. Where am I staying at? Shit. But I know it's an embarrassment and it's a disgrace. I can't find a better word, but disgraceful fit for now. It's disgraceful. It's an embarrassment when you start going around, when you start elevating, you start getting around other races of people. I started really recognizing it when I was managing hotels in Texas. Yeah, shit disgusting, man. It's like, how can I put it? It's like we could do so much positive, so much, making so much impact. But then you turn on the radio or scroll on social media and stuff like that, you just seeing like what the hell is going on? But I say all of it pretty much start in the household. We got to make it a priority to educate our own self and our own children Then when you decide to send them to school, they be more than prepared, opposed to going to school and learning everything from school. And just because we put our children in quote unquote good schools around other races of people, that don't mean they're getting a better education. They definitely don't mean they're getting an African-centered education, where they need a knowledge of self, who they are. Because if they don't know who they are, they're not going to know who nobody else is. And for what I learned is, if you don't know who you are, you don't know who your enemies are, you'll take your enemies for friends and take your friends for enemies. You got all these books. I ain't got all these books for nothing. Have I read them all? No, I ain't read them all yet. I read a lot of them. I read a lot of them. And I continually invest and buy more and more books. And as we writing more and more books, we're creating more and more projects and stuff like that. I need some feedback, man. I don't know how people get on here and just keep on talking. The only reason I've been able to do it because that what it is? Nah, I got a challenge that when our mentor gave us, so I'm rising to the challenge. I know, babe. It's all good. You know what I mean? How we do, babe. Come on, somebody give me some feedback, man. Right here talking to this doggone screen. Ask some questions or make a point or something. Tell you what, one thing I just thought about, I made a post on my story, and my cousin is speaking. We were having a phone conversation with my cousin, and she actually came through for me and spoke on my behalf, and we had her talk to my children. My children asked some questions, and that was her talking about how they have changed my life and what I'm doing now. She's proud of what we're doing and what I'm doing now and where I'm taking this thing to. And happy to see me free and healthy. And I remember the conversation I was having with her is, I didn't know what they witnessed me doing or what their perspective of me was growing up. Because all I was doing is doing the best I could think of with the tools and resources that I had and from my influences. But yeah, there's so much stuff I can say and so much stuff I want to say, but what's the point? What's the point? I think I'm getting get to the realization that what we do is for who it's for. And the best thing we could do is just keep being be the best example we can be for what we doing, what we represent, which is a strong and solid family, loving family. Not here to really try to influence nobody to do nothing, to see things our way, but we are here to make a positive impact in these children's lives, particularly the children from our community. And I think I either read or came across somewhere where it's saying, like, if a person does not come from where you come from, is not part of your struggle, you can't expect them to be fully invested or as invested as you will be or want them to be. And since I was born in it, raised in it, fashioned in it, my family's in it, like, it's where we come from, I'm concerned and I care. So that's why when I do the interviews or speaking engagements or have these conversations and I'm teaching people, or, man, I can see the transformation. Then people tell me the transformation too. Like, you don't realize, you never know who you're impacting or influencing or motivating or helping or healing just by being who you are. But we got to start, this is what I would say, we as men and women, those of us that are real men and those of us that are real women, we have to create a balance to where as much negative stuff that we see, we got to start stepping up and providing the positive, rather online, rather in person, in the community, or whatever. If we make seeing terrible music or we seeing all these terrible skits or these bad representations of us as people, we got to start getting on there and start showing the better side. Like, I know some real ladies, some real queens, some real women, but I also know and recognize some real bitches, some real hoes too. They ain't the same. Just because they all female does not mean they all same. All females are not ladies, and all males are not men. So we got to be the ones to lead by example, to show the difference in them. If we ain't doing that, then what are we doing? Celebrating holidays, celebrating birthdays, buying the same shoes, buying the same clothes, listening to the same music, going to the same clubs, going to the same sporting events year after year after year, going on vacations, going on trips. But we're not really increasing our wealth. Our children not really getting high level knowledge, just getting basic knowledge, and that's what keeps us at the bottom. Because at this point, it's damn near like we're not even at the bottom because of what nobody else doing. We're at the bottom because of what we're not doing and what we're doing and failing to do. I used to go out to the club so much and drink so much. I'm talking about, hell, 6-7 days a week. Sometimes I was out there drinking, going out. Half time I was by myself because I'm like, shit. I'm the type of person, I always have been the type of person, if I want to do something, I'm going to do it, whether somebody going to do it with me or not. I ain't got to have no no entourage to go do something. I'm going to make sure I'm self-sufficient wherever I'm at and where I go, and I know I got me. I ain't going to start nothing. However, I know how to take care of myself. And I did that for so long, so I went so hard doing that, I'm talking about, man, more than 2 years straight, I knew it. So much so now, I don't really have no interest in it. My only interest now is to keep on growing, teaching my family, preparing for the future, putting things in place so my grandchildren, great-grandchildren, great-grandchildren be straight, put things in place to where I look at it like a relay race. Got it like a relay race. My parents and grandparents, they ran their race, and now I got the baton in my hand. Now I'm running with it hard as I can. And so now I'm passing it to my children, teaching them how to run so they can pass to their children, teaching them what they need to know so they can pass to their children. And we're building us a nation, man. Like, what else we supposed to be doing? I think we, from my understanding, we supposed to be guys on earth and following Jesus as the example. Not necessarily praying to Jesus but following Jesus. Every time I start talking about or thinking about church and religion and stuff like that, I hear my uncle in my head, like, stay away from religion and politics. But it's very challenging to do so, especially when we're in the Bible Belt and when a lot of stuff don't make sense to me and it conflicts. But then I hear people tell me, be your authentic self. It's like it's like you either gonna say what needs to be said or don't say nothing at all. I don't know. It's a challenge though. It's a big old challenge. It's a big old challenge, man. We got books, we got cartoons, we got awards, and it's just the beginning. It's just the beginning, man. That's why I know where my head was at and to where we moving now, if we can do it, y'all definitely can do it, man. Because I didn't give a damn. Couldn't even see myself turning 30 at one point, at certain points in my life. Now I'm 42. And now my goal is to get past 100, 115. And with the innovations of technology, might be able to get past or get beyond that. So, man, I'm showing my children the way, man. And I'm thankful to God for God's grace for saving me and protecting me from my own self in a whole bunch of situations. Because there were times where I found myself in the valid decision, had my mind on doing certain things and doing certain things to certain people, but God didn't let it didn't connect. It did not connect. And now I'm at this point in my life to where whoever or whatever was the issue at the time, it's too far beneath me to even consider. To where it's one of those things where it's like certain battles, let God handle. I focus on what I control, and what I can't, that's what God for. And that helps me with a peace of mind. And I understand that the things that we go through and go through are happening for us, not necessarily to us. Especially, and you gotta be specific and particular about what we pray and ask for. Like, really be detailed and specific about what we ask for, because if you don't, then that leaves up the chance where it can go any kind of way. It's like saying, I want a car. You might get a car. It might not be a working car. But if you specify, I want me a 2023, goddamn it, S560 or something like that. Black interior, less than 15,000 miles, one owner, something like that. I want my own house. What kind of house? You want a 1-bedroom apartment, or you want an estate? You want a mansion? You want a house with 10,000 square feet, 6 rooms, 5 bathrooms, 7 rooms, 5 bathrooms, 2-3 story, on a particular street. Shit. Out down Highway 49, just past the Natchez Trace on my own land. You gotta be specific, especially when we learn that words have power. So that means they work for our benefit. And if you don't know how to use them for your benefit, then they'll work against you to your detriment. So a lot of these things are just perspective. You gotta study and learn things, because we don't know what we don't know. And some of us are just super arrogantly ignorant. Now, we're all ignorant to a certain extent. And I used to be super ignorant, and I didn't care. I remember when I graduated, I was like, I ain't learning nothing. I ain't learning shit else. I used to hate school. I used to hate school. Had to get up early, and I used to hate school. But I realized I hated school. I didn't hate learning. Because now I teach my own self, just like I teach my own children. I remember I was going to go back to college. The best idea I had at some point was to go back, take my ACT and stuff like that. I'm like, nah, I can teach my own self. I can read, I know how to read. If I'm going to go there, they're going to teach me out of book. Just get the book and teach my own self. You know, I'm going to school for, I don't need no electives. I don't need no time waster. Nah. So now I got hundreds of books in my own library. And I can just grab one and read one anytime I feel like it. Then that makes me grow. Now I can get another one. That makes me grow. After reading so many books, it was only a matter of time we started writing our own books. And then by me being a natural entrepreneur, I sold so many different things. How do you not sell books and sell stuff like this? We're watching movies, watching all the other things. If somebody else is creating some stuff, we can create our own stuff. Then who has our story? I mean, we got value. We just got to understand how valuable we are. Find a way to put some product together, package it, and sell it. I'm just telling you what we do. It's got a whole bunch of stuff. Like, it's so much stuff that we ain't even posted or shared or, man, like certain stuff we had to. Just have to make the best out of it. Let's see. Grab some. Speaking of books, we go back to the 15, John Maxwell, the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. Or just pick a page. Page 78 says, number 4, do you know when you are supposed to improve? The final piece of the puzzle is the question of when. When do you need to improve? First, the obvious answer, right now, today. Author and education professor Leo Buscaglia noted, life lived for tomorrow will always be just a day away from being realized. So you need to get started if you haven't yet. More important, you need today to be every day. You will never change your life until you change something you do daily. That means developing great habits. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishments, and that bridge must be crossed every day. Over time, that daily crossing becomes a habit, and ultimately, people do not decide their future. They decide their habits, and their habits decide their future. As author and speaker Brian Tracy says, from the time you get up in the morning to the time you go to sleep at night, your habits largely control the words you say, the things you do, and the ways you react and respond. Brian Tracy, another one of my favorite authors. What are you doing daily that needs to change? What needs doing? Maybe more important, what needs undoing? Advice columnist Abigail Van Buren quipped, a bad habit never goes away by itself. It's always an undo-it-yourself project. What are you willing to change, doing today in order to change what you will be doing tomorrow. In the end, hard work is really the accumulation of easy things you didn't do when you should have. It's like diet and exercise. Everyone wants to be thin, but no one wants to make the right choices to get there. It's hard work when you've neither eaten right nor exercised day after day. However, if you make small, right choices each day after day, you see results. You will never change your life until you change something you do daily. It's John Maxwell, page 78 to 79, in the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. So I'll leave y'all with that. Like, share, subscribe, buy a book, support the movement. If you have, thank you so much. If you share it, thank you so much. If you hate, thank you so much. If you love, thank you so much. All praise to God Most High. Allahu Akbar, God's the greatest. And if we can do it, you can do it too. Stay tuned.